Hello, everybody. I'm your host, Eric Bird, here at StopStrugglingNow.com. And do not be confused. It is Tuesday because I missed the Money Making Monday live stream. Now we're going to have the Tuesday live stream, but this is a one off. This isn't going to be every Tuesday. We're going to go always the Monday, Wednesday, Friday. But stocks in war, ladies and gentlemen, a winning formula to build wealth if you know how to trade or invest in the stock market. It's being manipulated right before your very eyes. In fact, the poly markets, in case you don't know what that is, that's betting on what could happen in the future, some random events. Well, it's kind of funny when somebody's putting in millions of dollars before the event happens. So therefore, you know other people know when events are going to happen that have to deal with the stock market itself. So you need to be paying attention because anything overnight that is said, such as we might have an Iran nuclear deal again. We got a lot to talk about it. This is the perfect time for you to be making money. And welcome to the Tuesday night Stop Struggling Now live edition. And again, welcome. Stop Struggling Now gear. No fear, no excuses. Check. And please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. Now, let's get. All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, thank you so much for being here. And yes, if you found us tonight, make sure, as I've already requested, please smash that like button. Give it a one piece, ladies and gentlemen, so the YouTube gods, podcast gods know that you're in the house because you know how they throttle back our viewerships. And if you're lucky enough to be a subscriber and you got a notification, well, it will be a surprise that you get something on Tuesday, but don't be alarmed. It is the Tuesday night live edition. I'm live. I'm here. This is not a tape recording. We don't do that. The comment section is open. If you have anything you want to talk about, we welcome it here. We love discussions. Investors unite. Because if you have something you want to say or put forth and try to help people, I'm here for it. Now, the first things first to help people, findhelp.org. In America, if you need help, you can use findhelp.org, put in the zip code of where you are located, and all kind of help shows up. It could be something that's relevant right now. People are having a hard time paying their rent, hard time paying for their mortgage. There's help as such as that. There's people that have medical situations. They need help. Yes, these nonprofits do help people. Sometimes it costs nothing. Sometimes it costs a little bit. It's up to you to make the phone calls and get in touch with the people that's out here trying to help you. And some of you may be going through mental breakdowns. Once again, they have mental health lines, or you can go to 211.org. Tap on your phone right now, 211. That takes you to mental health professionals that can get some much needed help for you. So all these things right now is the part of the Stop Struggling Now position that I take, trying to help you, the OCs. No credit check, no qualifying, no barriers to entry. We got something to talk about because whenever there's war, whenever there's turmoil, whenever there's a down economy, whenever people get laid off, indefinitely number of people getting laid off in 2026. It could be 600,000. It could be a million. It could be 2 million. It could be 3 million before this is all over. That means you might need a little bit of help. So just remember the find help to begin with. That's the first start. Second start is some of you may not have been laid off and do have money and do have a job. So no credit check, no qualifying, no barriers to entry. We went over this years You could do pre-construction projects, but once again, that's going to be at your own risk because sometimes they are late. Or you can just wait, which is my new stance on the Dominican Republic, which we are heavily invested in. And so, therefore, I want you guys to understand waiting at this particular time is better than entering into a contract because of the turmoil. You want all the people who aren't coming due to the turmoil, you want to make sure you have your optimum amount of tourists that's coming to the island, even though they're breaking records. But imagine if there was no war in Ukraine and in Russia, no matter if there was no war in the Middle East, all those hundreds of thousands of people would have been coming to the Dominican Republic as a tourist who's looking for short-term rentals. So just think about that. So once again, you don't want to be anywhere near what's happening right now. So unless you are thinking about buying something that's already built, because the same turmoil is running there, because buyers are not there because of the turmoil. So that means prices are going to be lower. There's an opportunity, but I would highly suggest you wait a few more years for the fallout. But right now, there's people giving up their units for a discount because they have waited 4 or 5 years for their delivery. So again, no credit check, no qualifying, no barriers to entry. You could take over their payments at 0% interest. And since they're going to be late, you can make additional payments after the delivery date, which gives you a benefit. But again, it's all up to you. But why I'm talking about real estate instead of the stock market, because that goes hand in hand with the stock market in the end. Because if you do have some real estate, that means it's an asset. You can borrow against that real estate. And once you can borrow, you can use those funds to invest. So let's start with the first things first. Findhelp.org, you guys already know about. Second thing, I need you guys to have a 775 credit score by December 31st, 2026. We started the countdown 3 years ago. There is now 2 years. I mean, almost not 2 years. Almost, what are we at? 9, 8 months left. We started 3 years ago, the countdown. How on earth would somebody know 3 years ago that we would be in this particular situation? You have to know what country you live in, and you know good and well what country we live in, I hope. So therefore, it was easy to figure out the way things were going to turn, possibly, more than likely, and it did. You have the right guys in place to mess stuff up. You have the right guys in place for you to build wealth. You got the right guys in place to create chaos and turmoil all over the world. That means it's a winner for you, the investor, if you're paying attention. Now, let's get to the other part. I need you right now, 80% of you watching this, living paycheck to paycheck. So you have to do the fundamental thing, reduce your debt. Some people go, Eric, I can't reduce my debt. It's understandable because I don't make the extra money. In fact, I can't do anything because gas costs more now. It's up about 35 to 40% more than it was 2 weeks ago. So automatically it costs more. In turn, transportation to deliver these goods and services to your stores means if you're buying groceries, they went up, even if it's only 2-3%. But if you're living paycheck to paycheck, even a 5% increase on your monthly bills, that means you can't pay them, right? Of course not. So that means in order to get them reduced, you need somebody that can help you with the debt that you owe. Have somebody call up and renegotiate your debt for you. How about that? So once again, what do we talk about? We talk about Tracy, TRACY.sharpe, SHARPE at moneyladder.com. Let her know you're from SSN Nation. Let her know Eric sent you. She's family, so she's going to help you. And because she's family, she loves helping people. That's right. That's what we do out here, ladies and gentlemen. Divine Transit, thank you so much for being in the house on the other platform. All of you watching from Instagram, I appreciate it. That's right. We're on Instagram too, ladies and gentlemen. iHeart and all the rest of you guys, Apple, iTunes, whatever. We're all over the place. Just so everybody knows, this is probably going to be about an hour and a half long live stream. So I just want you guys to know, just because I missed on Monday, if you're new here, here's how it works. If I miss a live stream, normally that means the next day there's going to be a live stream. So in case you don't know that, now you know. Now let's get back to the business at hand, because I have to put Tracy information into the chat rooms, right? We have to do that because we need you guys to increase your credit score the best you can. This is one way you can do it without anybody else's interference. If you can get it renegotiated where you pay a less amount, and then after 1.5 to 2 years, then all of a sudden they call it you have paid off in good standing, you have no derogatory situation, that means your credit score will go up. Don't worry, you have a window, so just get started now, all right? You want to get started now. You want to improve that now. You don't want to play around any longer. In the chat room, on several different platforms, you will find a link. Her email address is going to be there. Everybody watching on podcast, you're going to have to pull over and write it down or try to remember. It's kind of easy. tracy.sharpe with an E at the end at moneyladder.com. That's the email address. Relatively simple. All right, everybody watching on the platforms, it's going to be in the chat room for you. Also, anybody watching this, are you guys, anybody see the trailer yet? A new trailer was put out today. Let me know, because every time we do a live stream now, nobody says they saw the trailer. I find this very, very concerning. All right, so once again, there you go. Here's what else we're going to, because we need you guys to build wealth. No credit check, no qualifying, no barriers to entry to buy land, lots, acreage. You can do it. Several different places you can go to. Discount lots. In fact, today I said, you know what? I better pull it up on the screen because people don't believe it. They're like, what does he mean by this? Well, I'm about to show you. I'll just pull it up. Because again, I don't want you guys believing we're not talking. We actually do this, ladies and gentlemen, just so you understand. It's not just chit chat. This is discountlots.com. It's very simple. Of course, they're asking you for info so they can send it. But look at this. Become a landowner for as little as $500 down in less than 5 minutes. All right. Now, sell your land. Obviously, this, that, and the other. They have it. Let's see if I can go to, I see they changed it. There we go. Search land for sale. They changed their site just slightly, but it's still the same. So you will see they'll give you where it is. Now, remember, when you buy land, you need to make sure you have the basics. You need to know where the electricity is. You need to know where the water is coming from, the sewer, if it's hooked up to your land. If it's not hooked up to your land, that means you would have to bring it to your land. That is the first thing, and you never buy anything that you have not seen with your own two eyes to make sure it is what it is. You need the plat maps to make sure it's not landlocked, and you have a right of easement somewhere if it is landlocked. But again, there's when almost any asset class does clear, it could cost you, whether it's water, because you're going to be hooked up. So all of these things matter. So we're going to get to this shortly. I see we're having a little problem, technical difficulty, but it's all right. It always happens when there's no credit check, no qualifying, no barriers to entry. It says property match my search. I didn't even do a search. I guess that's what's missing, right? Usually properties show up, but I'm getting a lag. So I'm gonna have to figure something out. Having a lag. Have to wait a little bit. Here's the thing with those things that I already mentioned, that's what you have to pay attention to. That's the number one thing. Some people come up with great ideas. They could go, okay, I don't mind it being landlocked as long as I have a right of easement because I have a plan. I don't need water or sewer or anything, electricity to my lot because I'm going to do something and it's not going to be a lot. I'm going to get 25 acres. I'm going to get 10 acres. So I want to build something on 10 acres that does not require me to for have electricity, water, anything. That was a plan by a friend of mine years ago. He came up with a plan. One of those ATV motorcycle parks. He got the 20 acres in SoCal for like 6 grand. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Don't worry, it's 10 to 15 years ago. But nonetheless, just keep that in mind. That is the thing right there. You have a plan, then it makes sense to you. It does you no good to not have a plan and buy land. You better have a plan because holding it and listening to these clowns out here that go, well, they're not making any more land. Okay, keep hold, just go buy some land and sit there and hold it and keep paying the tax bill. Keep paying if there's water services or electrical services or anything like this to your lot. Pay a little bit of that fee, maybe, even though you're not running in electricity, it's going to be subsidized. So, again, you don't want to put yourself in that position for too long. You're not going to mind it for doing it for a year or two when it's minimal, $5-20 a year or $10, or if you're in an HOA environment, now that starts when things start getting crazy because they go, well, it's $100 a month now, and then next year it's 110, and next thing you know, you end up spending $150 a month to hold land that you're not doing anything with. And you're sitting there going, well, it might go up, it could go up, it's going to go up. Yeah, fine, but you don't want to put yourself in that scenario. But there's a lot of land out here, as you can see. Here we go. Look at this. This is in, see what I'm saying? This is in the middle of nowhere. Moffett, Colorado, 1.1 acre lot. But again, you can see if this is an actual picture, this is vacant. What's out here? See, here goes a .23 looking like it's in the woods in Florida. $255 a month. But again, look at, you have all these opportunities. 5 acres. But again, this is in Waysboro, Tennessee. Is it really worth it? That's the question. Is it really worth it? This is why, but again, this is no credit check, no qualifying, no barriers to entry. Just so you guys understand. Golden Valley, Arizona. Never heard of it. Where is it? Agricultural, residential. You need to know the zoning. If you have residential, you can't do commercial. So you need to make sure if you plan on doing commercial, then you need to make sure because it's zoned for commercial so you have no issues. See all this? Cold Spring, Texas, Meridian, Mississippi, 1 acre lot. Again, this is up to you, but I'm just using discount lots just so you guys can understand. It's all over. Yucca, Joshua Tree, $876 a month. Good grief. That's crazy to me, but that is what it is. Lake Havasu, 40 acre lot in Lake Havasu. Is it really? Come on. I need to go see this for myself. Lake Havasu's not that big of an area, and somebody's selling 40 acres, and it's only agricultural, residential, minimum of 36 acres. Again, I'm not doing anything, no agriculture over there, but somebody might come up with something they can do agriculturally over there. And again, pay $448 a month, no credit check, no qualifying. You control the land. Not bad. Here's a 40 acre site. Again, agricultural, residential, not my favorites, unless I have a plan for something residential. Otherwise, it's not a plan. And remember, a lot of these are in the middle of nowhere, so you better have a plan. Some of these places are actually in cities. That's why you have to go look. You can search on your maps. You have Google now, so you can actually see a satellite imagery of the exact locations. San Luis, Colorado. Never heard of it. 5 acre lot. What is that? Again, Mojave Desert, 1 acre lot. Again, there's a little road, it looks like, but so what? I don't really care about none of this. All I care about is if you talk about light industrial, okay, then how far is it from a major city? I can put in some sort of production facility or something where people can stop. How far is it from the freeway? There's all kind of opportunities that you have to, if you have a plan, then you can actually make it work. All right. Some of you right now, by the way, there's the Bankers card. Hold on. I should have mentioned this. There is a crypto debit card, right? And it's a Visa, or well, actually, it's a MasterCard. And it's Bankers. They have their live stream on Tuesdays and Thursdays. It's going on right now, and I actually have it in the background running, even though I don't know if you can hear somebody talking. Well, it's that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this where please use the link to download the app if you don't mind. That'd be greatly appreciated because, of course, this all goes to crypto as well. Who do you think controls crypto now? Who was the one saying don't do crypto, don't do crypto, right? Banks, all these guys, right? That's how funny this whole thing is. They were the ones originally saying, oh no, don't do crypto. Now they're the ones saying, we will do custody of crypto. And don't let these guys custody your crypto, just like you shouldn't have them custody your money. All right? They're doing all of this because once they have custody, they use assets under management. So I put in a link for the Bankers card. Please download the app. It is a referral link. People can actually make money by referring people. I don't mind making a little bit of extra money, so I hopefully you won't by sharing the link. And you will have a digital card already once you sign up and download. You will get a digital card and buy a plastic card or a metal card. Everything's in the back office, but their live stream is happening right now. Right now, they're going over sales commission, which looks like a 3-level commission is what they're doing. All right. So please use my link because I'm in this, of course, because the card is not inside the United States. It's outside the U.S. It's regulated outside the U.S. in Mexico City is where the company is. And the card can be used anywhere in the world since there's a MasterCard logo. Also on the screen, you will see cheapland.com. Cheaplands.com. It's along the same lines. Homes, commercial, featured land, no exact locations. Okay, fine. 20 acres here, 6.4 acres there. This right here is interesting. 6 acres, not exactly located. Look at this. The border, say 30,000.16, but hey, it is what it is. This right here, let's go on this half an acre lot, which is very interesting. I see like a mobile home on here. Yeah, here we go. Mobile home on flat lot, half acre plus mobile home on flat land. Debit, credit cards accepted. No closing costs. Total price $5,100. Finance with 3 payments of $2,000. Property, East Carondelet, Illinois. That seems familiar. Okay, but anyhow, 11-minute drive to St. Louis. Okay, that's why it's familiar. It's outside of St. Louis. Mississippi River, 4 miles from Mississippi. What does that mean? That doesn't mean anything to me. This looks like a holding cell to me. Half an acre is not big enough to do anything. It's in the middle of nowhere. I see gas that they got to come here. See, again, this doesn't meet my criteria. I need gas to be underground. But again, some people would say, prior image, June 2022. Some people would say this works for them. Half acre lots in the middle of nowhere. So again, Mississippi River, okay, I'm not excited about any rivers that's contaminated. Just saying. All right, but 5,100 is pretty damn cheap. But again, this is just an example of what they have. This is what they have for sale right now. So look at this. I don't know what, forget about 0.08 acres. That's ridiculous. Don't buy that. 1 acre, 10,000. We don't know where it is. Does not matter. But this just gives you an opportunity to buy. Oh, hold on. What's this by the water? Hold up a second. See, this is what I'm referring. Look at this. 12 parcels, all new, near lake. Hold on. Hold on. Very close to lake. 12 parcels, owned 12 separate parcels for 10 grand. We need a closer look. This looks like it's in the water. What is that? Oh, okay. Hey, see, you never know. This looks like a boat launch is right here. What is this? This can't be true, right? Can't be. Can't be opportunity like this. Where is it? Let's see. Okay, let's see. Pay with Bitcoin, Ethereum, Tether, Dogecoin. Okay, they're on it. This is in Arkansas. 1.49 acres of land for sale. 12 separate parcels. How do you, one and a half acre? Oh, four? No, you got to cut it in three. It could be a third of an acre for each parcel. That would be interesting if it's already, oh, it's already chopped. They got the addresses. That means you don't have to subdivide yourself. Wow. Oh, does this mean does this mean it's sold or not? Similar properties. So, oh, they're just showing similar properties sold down at the bottom. On their lake 12. That doesn't say the lake. Hey, who's advertising this? Well, hold on. They gave actual addresses. That's interesting. It says South Illinois Street 716. Taxes 13A. These guys are efficient. They're telling you, see, if you want to take these on, this is each parcel's taxes. So it looks like you're going to be at 12 times roughly 20, 250 a month, 260 a month. Let's just say it's that. But see, yeah, look at this 0.17 of an acre. What is that? 0.09. That's nothing. You're going to have to combine these 0.17. I mean, that's small acreage. That's mobile home esque. 0.10 acres. 0.10, 0.09, 0.12, 0.17, 0.14. They're not even a third of an acre. 0.08. These are awfully small. These are almost like mobile home or and by the way, what are they asking? This can't be right, can it? 10,000 for the acres? Then what am I missing? Let's see here. This is worthy of checking out in my opinion. This seems like if you have something by a river and you have a boat launch, if that's truly at this location, then that means you actually could have something for business. So interesting. I will be checking this out personally, even though I don't like Arkansas. But money, I don't really care where it would come from. Do you? All right, ladies and gentlemen, let me know what you guys think because we are going to go. Now, that was cheaplands.com, so you could find a gem there. So now landmodo.com is another one. And once again, this is all over. So what I would do is check all of these, right? This is going to be Landmodo. Let's see if it's what you guys got here. Let me see. Yep, that's Landmodo. It's on the screen. Can everybody see that? No matter where you're at, let me know. Post-retirement travel, I see you. Welcome once again on the Instagram channel. Another member of the channel, ladies and gentlemen. He's everywhere. So I'm glad to see that he's here, Mr. Worldwide, too. Another investor. He's checking out these opportunities. He's going worldwide with it. He just told us he's thinking about something in Puerto Rico and Dominican Republic, a second and third and fourth investment. It's awesome what he's out here doing. He's doing the worldwide thing like we recommend here. You have 9 months left, 8 months left in about 6 days where you need a bank account outside the United States, real estate, or a business outside the United States. Those are the first two tenets. And you need your credit score to be 775 by December 31st, 2026. And along the way, you're going to get offers. Here's why we want you to do that, because we want you to be able to take advantage of that 0% interest for 24 months. We want you to be prepared for the 0% interest for 36 months. That's right. We're trying to get you in position. It's better to have the 0% interest for 36 months than to keep having interest of 25, 30, 35% or more. I saw something the other day, 39.9% interest. I'm like, holy smokes, with a monthly annual cost of $8.99. Annually, just holding that card cost you over $100 a year. Never mind the 39% interest annually. You'll never pay that off. If you don't pay it all off within 1 month, you're going to be in a world of hurt at, what would that be? Is that 40%? That's 3% a month on your balance in interest only. Never mind the principal you would have to pay. That is significant. If you have just simply $1,000, you have 10% would be 100. That's $30 by itself just in interest only. Then you're going to have to pay some of your principal. You're going to be paying $65 to $75 per month and not hardly paying anything down, because $30 of that, of the thousand, let's say you had a balance of 1,000, $30 of that, that means you're only paying $45 a month. Do you know how long that's going to take you? Why don't we just do the math right now? If you didn't, and that is if you spent no money and just paid it down, which most people aren't going to be capable of. But let's do it this way: 1,000 divided by 45. It's going to take you almost 2 years. And you're going to be paying 30 plus $75 per month. It'll take you 2 years to get that down to zero without using the card again. Think about that. All right. 2 years versus, we'll do it a simple way: 1,000 divided by, well, at this point, I'll do it another way. We'll do it divided by 45. The same, actually, if you paid $45 a month for the same 1,000, it's going to take you the same 2 years. But you're not paying 75. See, that's the difference. That's why we need you at 0%, ladies and gentlemen. All right, we need your score. Although right now they're being very generous because they don't have that many people making on-time payments. So anybody that has basically a 700 score can get 0% interest right now. But I want you guys to have premiums, so that's why we need you at 775 if you can get there. Now back to, we're at landmodo.com for some land, and I'm just going to skip right through because we don't want to stay on this. Owner financing, again, landhub.com. It's all over, ladies and gentlemen, because land, as they always said, they don't make anymore. All these people are holding this land going, hold on, man. I've been holding this and I've been paying a monthly payment every month, even if it's 25 bucks, 50 bucks, 30 bucks. In the end, that starts taking off from you, whatever sale price you're going to do, your exit strategy. Even though you might go, I bought this for 10 grand, but if you keep paying 30, 40, 50, $120 a month, next thing you know, you done spent 1,200 bucks a year for $100. Then 3 years go by, you spent 3,600 and you can still only sell the land for 10 grand or 12 grand because it's undeveloped. Nothing's happening, right? This is why you also go down to the city council, and you also go down to the city planning department. You find out in that city that you're thinking of investing where the development's going to go. They have to make plans like 5, 10, 15, 20 years in advance. If you know that and you go, oh, it looks like they're putting stuff out here, they've approved that, it looks like somebody's trying to get things approved down here outside of town, like 2 miles outside of town. Then you find out, oh, wait a minute, there's some land out there that's cheap too. Now all of a sudden you are in the way of progress, meaning you get to win because your property value will go higher as they start putting their, whether it's a shopping area or restaurants or bars or whatever they're putting out there, right? A school, whatever. You're in the line where people are going to say, yeah, we want to build up around here. So you get to make more money in a shorter period of time. Now, you need to know if it's 3 years from now, 5 years from now, is your holding going to be worth it? But okay, let's keep moving because that's landhub.org. So we're going to get out of that right now. I just want you guys to understand what we talk about here. In case you're new, we always go with no credit check, no qualifying, no barriers to entry if you can get it. All right? So just keep all of that in mind. Cheap land. I'll put a link, cheap lands, in here. We got Tracy Sharpe emails across the board. The Bankus info, I'm going to add that to another platform as well. Their live stream, people can ask questions, by the way. It's still on. The Zoom call is still on. You can go over there and ask questions if you're not familiar with Bankers. But remember, the first top at the top of the links I'm putting down is where you can download the app, and I greatly appreciate if you download the app. Why? It's a referral, and you can also refer other people once you download the app. You can make money if they buy the card, if they upload every time. Okay, so keep that in mind. Those are the type of things that you need to pay attention to right now. Money's scarce out here. And so if you have a way to make it happen, where you can make additional streams of revenue, this is what you need to do. All right, back to the stock market, back to the wars, because the stock market, once again, the Federal Reserve, they did not do anything this past meeting. So what they did was they put it forward. Why did they put it forward? Because inflation is rising. Of course it is. It's costing, this war costs money. Where are we getting the money from? You have to print more money to actually do the war, right? So obviously they're over there busting up gas, they're busting up oil. That means it's going to cost more money in America and around the world. So that means your cost of living is going to go up. This is not rocket science. This should be standard modus operandi for everybody. That means you should have to figure out, what do I have to do to reduce these costs? But then you should be figuring out, what can I invest in to make money from this? Remember, the stock market is your friend. If you still haven't downloaded this stock markets or got a brokerage account, shame on you. What are you waiting for? I will put some Robinhood, Webull, some links like that here, but get your free shares of stock. You can download all these apps, Moo and all of them. But again, what are you waiting for? You need to get in the game. And some of you may be shy. Some of you are going to go, well, Eric, I just want to set it and forget it. I'll let somebody else handle it. Well, I got Wealthfront down there for you as well. You can find that in a chat room. Okay. So I will put that in every platform. So you guys should have all that too. Now, what are some of the things that you might want to look into? If the Fed increases the interest rate, which I don't see how they can't, inflation is over 3%. They're anticipating it to go up to 3.9% in this next 3 months, next 2 months. That's 4% over last year's increase. So you're already at a number that is below, because they don't include food and your rent or mortgage, or shall I say rent. They don't include energy and food. They don't include. So you know already the 3.4% that they said is really more. Just like 3.9 that they're already forecasting, it's really more. It's more like double digits. That's why they changed how they calculate inflation in 1980, the first trickle down nonsense BS by GOP. All right? Tax cut, tax breaks automatically mean inflation. There's no way around it. Okay? This is why every time after they run the economy down, a Democrat gets elected, then they put things back on course, then these guys go right back to their tax cut, tax break policies. Crazy when you look at it. And I don't understand how we have ignorant people in America who sits there and looks at the numbers and go, well, we have a recession under Bush. Okay. We brought in Obama. Okay, Obama hands off in a nice place for the next president. Then you go, we're going to bring in Trump. Trump does the same tax cut, tax break, GOP way. Next thing you know, Biden gets elected. Biden does the best he can do with what he got under the pandemic and non-pandemic activity by Trump. And we have the fastest growing economy after the pandemic in all of the world. We have the best thing handed off to him. And then what does he do? We got war. We got trying to mess over our Constitution. We got all this stuff. That is turmoil that you can use to your advantage if you're an investor. You should be looking for these cracks, because you're not going to get opportunities like this too often. We can go back to Clinton handing over an economy to George Bush. What does he do? He says, let's go to war and do a tax cut, tax break, and lie to the American people, just like right now. Same thing. I don't understand. Before Clinton was G. Bush 1. G. Bush 1 did the same thing. Runs down the economy, tax cut, tax breaks, in a recession. Now we get Clinton. He has to get us out. I'm like, how? I mean, we got like the last 20, 30 years of this nonsense, and American citizens are still out here voting for stuff that's against their best policies. You want jobs? That's you can't vote GOP. Come on. You want jobs? Go look it up, ladies and gentlemen. You're an investor. Why are you out here investing in things that are bad and then having them come up? You might say, hey, Eric, when things are in turmoil, blood's in the street is the best time to invest. That's what we're talking about right now. Stocks and war. Best time to invest. You can find opportunities that you're not going to find anywhere else right now. But personally, you should be wanting something that you can depend on for a nice upward movement. If you can get 10 to 15 to 20% every year, you should be happy with that, because this going up and down stuff, it's cool. But do you really want that? You want stability for when you retire. You don't want your retirement account to go from 1.3 million down to 800,000, right? Let's just get real. You don't want to retire and now you find out that you can't even live off of your retirement because inflation is 20%, 25, 30%. Enough with the rant. But the point I'm trying to make is, if you're going to sit on the sidelines and do nothing, you are going to get burnt, which is why 8 out of 10 people are getting burnt, because what they did was they sat there and they go, oh, what happened in 2000? Oh, no biggie. It all came correct. It only came correct because the people afterward had to make deals to make it correct. But that did not change the trajectory, because all they can do is say, we need to stop the bleeding. We need to change a few laws, because we still have to increase jobs. We still have to increase or decrease our inflation number. We still have to get things back on track. And then all of a sudden you said, well, forget all that. It was all lovely, but now let's go back to turmoil. And here we are again, back to turmoil. And now we're going to take advantage, ladies and gentlemen. All right? It's that simple. We take advantage here. That's what you have to do. All right? I'm about to create something that's going to take advantage, change the game once again, that I'm excited about. I can't tell you guys anything about it, because this one is going to be something that I have to work on, and it's going to be very, very hard, because I can't control the industry itself. I can't insert myself into it, and I need some help. All right. Usually I come up with a plan where I don't need no permission. I just enter their market and they're looking around like, who is this guy? How did he enter the market over here? How's he getting a piece of our pie, is how they look at it. That's how the rich guys look at it, right? They're like, how's this guy getting a piece of our pie after all we've done? He's winning on our backs, under our nose, the disrespect. That's right. Because I don't like what you guys are doing. And this particular thing has to do with disrespect. It has to do with ownership. It has to do with turning an industry on its side, because I'm putting in a loop where the winners are the people that are actually putting in the work. And they're also going to have their ownership. Therefore, I am going to be detrimental to their industry. I'm going to say that. I'm very happy. Actually, I put it all together, and you know what helped me? You guys will not believe this. Google has something called Gemini. I was up all night putting in information, and Gemini came back and said, this is not a good idea. This is a good idea. I always ask, hey, is there any recommendations that you would do? They gave out some recommendations. They put together the whole thing, a presentation. I mean, if you want investors, here's what your presentation should be. The name of the company, And the reasons why they gave 4 or 5 different options for name of the company, I was like, this, I'm blown away. I was like, oh my goodness, anybody can do this. I was in shock. I didn't go to sleep. I'm sitting there like they gave me the whole rundown, how to even set everything up, everything from the host, I'm giving a little away, to giving the lines, giving the, I could not believe it. I could not even believe it. I was in entire shock of they gave me the whole game plan. And I'm sitting here going, in the old days, I would have had to do each one of these steps from gatekeepers because I would have had to go through each step. But since now I have the steps already pre-planned and already set and know where to go, it told me where to go to get the help I need. I was like, is this for real right now? I was like a kid in a candy store. So I did not go to sleep, ladies and gentlemen. I was awake all night, all day, up until 1 day and a half until I finally had to crash, right? But the thing is, I was in shock. I have a plan already together that would have taken me months because I do not have the connections. And I shouldn't say I do not. I might. It's just that I haven't been in the industry for so long and involved with a lot of people, and I might still be able to pull something off. But I think I don't really. I always try to bypass because I like ownership myself. So I'm gonna see if I can figure it out. But I just want to let you guys know I'm very excited, and you can do it too. So I use Gemini AI. So when I was searching on how this all came about was I was searching on for what I was trying to do, and I was on Chrome, Google Chrome. So then some things came up, and at the bottom of it, it said, ask anything. So then I simply asked a question based on what was delivered, and the next thing I know, it started putting in what I wanted. And I'm like, what? Wait a minute, really? So then I'm sitting there, keep going. The only bad news from this, I'll give you the bad news, is they have something you can copy every answer that came copied. So what I was doing was I copied and then I put it in my email and sent it to myself so I can go back to that link. Guess what? Because I didn't have something turned on in my phone to save it all, when I go back the next day, since I closed out and I hit the link doesn't come up because it's not saved in history. So I learned something new. So then I had to redo it all over again from scratch. But guess what? Because that already was laid out for me, I automatically knew which questions I wanted. I knew the name that I wanted to use. I already was far ahead already. So I just started putting stuff back in. It still took me hours, of course, because now there's no way for me to have it send me the whole thing in a spreadsheet or a Word or no documents, right? So then what I had to do was send it every time I copied, put it in my email and just send it to myself. So then I can always go back and reference it anytime, and I'll put it together myself, and I have everything. What to ask people that I may interview for what I'm trying to do. I was blown away. I was blown away. If you need people, you should go here. This is the questions you should ask to make sure that they know this, that, and the other. I was like, it's detailed. I was like in shock. And this is Gemini AI, and I could not believe what I was seeing. All right. It is incredible. All right. The wife, all of a sudden, she has products. A friend of hers put in Chat GPT to redesign her products and labels and stuff. I couldn't believe it. It gave off something. Now, this Chat GPT, I told you guys before about lining up your trust and all that, right? So just keep all that in mind. We talked about that before, getting your trust and things like that. But you got to pay at Chat GPT, and then you get more services and the beautiful new bottles and labels and colors was awesome what it came up with. And they put together their business off of Chat GPT. Not the wife, but a friends of ours. And got their labels, got the name of the company and everything. It looks beautiful. So I'm just letting you know this is what AI is doing right now. And this is going to become very powerful. And unfortunately, there's going to be a lot of you watching this right now who does not understand or want to do business. You want to work for somebody else and get a paycheck. This is about to be a thing because more and more, what is that? More and more companies are laying people off. So once again, you're going to be in danger out here. We're here, what is this, 1 hour and 18 minutes? I'm about to throw this down on the podcast pages. So just make sure you guys understand. We haven't gotten through the whole thing yet because we have wars. There's some people right now that's sitting there saying, well, invest in bonds or treasuries or, yeah, 4%. Okay. What good is 4% going to do you when when inflation is 3.9 or 3.4% just in year over year? That's not even for the full year. We're just talking about year over year. You're at 3.4. 3.9 is projected for the month of March, year over year. So much for your 4% that you're buying bonds for. All right. We have people here that buy bonds. I'm like, okay, I'm not a big fan. You can buy them, but inflation is higher than 4%. Some people, very smart people, say, well, that's where I park my money so I earn something while I'm getting ready to invest. That makes much more sense because that way you're not just leaving in a bank account or leaving in a brokerage account in cash where you're not earning anything at all. You better earn something, even if it is something. And speaking of earning, I'm going to be making number 3 tomorrow for the Prime Wealth Advisors. I'm going to have a link for you guys. I'm going to show you on, oh, I can't, let me show you on the screen right now because I forgot all about this. Because, we're busy over here, ladies and gentlemen. You know the assignment. So, in case you're new here, the assignment is my aunt is very ill, and we're, as a family, trying to take care of her, okay? Help take care of her. She's in a critical health situation. All right, here we go. This is week 3. Every Saturday, there's interest payout. Now, don't ask me about if I have withdrawn. No, I have not, because you can only withdraw when you have reached $100. All right? When you reach $100, you can withdraw or you can add it into your deposits. Okay? That's the only way. So once I get 100, then I'll just add it into the deposit. So this would have been like 208, let's say. Actually, it's going to be more than that, right? Because that'll be 10 something, like 108, 109, something like that, right? So that's what will be added over here. And that would be 216, but that's going to take us, this is the 3rd week. So we know it's going to take 12 weeks to get $100 in here, okay? Or I can deposit another 108. But either way, which actually I'm going to do, something came up this weekend with my aunt, so it was very dire. So again, I got delayed on what I want to do. But just keep this in mind. This is Prime Wealth. I'm going to give you guys a link. Just again, you don't have to do anything. This is high risk, high rewards. This is high risk. How can you get on $108? You're going to get $25.92 in 3 weeks. All right. We haven't even hit a month yet. So that means we're going to have $34 or something like this for the 4th week. That means that's over 30%, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, because it should be 8% times 4 is 32%. So this has to be something of a Ponzi potentially, just letting you know. So in essence, some people would say, well, Eric, you wasted 3 weeks because you could have put in more money and already been able to withdraw $100, right? So you put in 4 times the amount, like $436, right? For $432, but either way, $432 would have been $100 if I'm not mistaken. It's got to be pretty close to that, right? And so you're missing out. But I'm like, let me see what happens. And I'm going to add 108 again. So then it'll be 216. So then this will be double. So that'll shorten my 12 down to whatever. It'll shorten it off 4. So it'll be 8 weeks, 2 months, it'll be 100 or $200, whatever the case may be, 100 and some dollars. But we can always go more. But again, I think high risk, high rewards, this is unheard of. And again, there's only one explanation. It has to be Ponzi, I believe. So that means you got to get in, get out, relatively simple, relatively fast. So I'm going to put in the chat rooms the link in case you guys want to get in on the game. Yes, if you refer somebody, you get 10%. All right, let's just call it what it is. So I'm going to put it in the links. There have been people that have downloaded and deposited, have joined the party. But I'll put it in again. Remember, high risk. There's no way somebody can maintain 32% per month as far as I know, but that's what is coming out. One of our members has been doing it for like now, if I've read a month, that means 8 to 9 months. They're getting what they need out. They have a rule about when you hit a certain number, you can take out 50%, just so you know, all right? So I don't know if it's, I shouldn't say it's a rule, but they recommended leaving 50% in your account, all right? Just whatever, because people do have 10, 15, 20 G's in there, just so you understand. All right, I'm not going to last on here. Okay, so it's only 57 minutes, so we got time. All right, I don't want to stay on too long because I want to add it to the podcast pages. All right, now, people have been hitting me up trying to get, oh, I got to show some other things. Been trying to get on the live streams. Let's go with interest, so you guys can see right here the breakdown. All right, I don't want to keep you guys hanging, but you can see 864 every week. All right, that's what it is. 864 every week. March 21st, it was 8:44 a.m. Fine with me on Saturday, every Saturday, because I uploaded on Saturday. That's why they give interest every Saturday. So whatever time they receive the upload, that's going to be 7 days later, they're going to give you the interest. All right. The plan is a 1 year at 8%. That's the plan. You have to renew after 1 year. Fine. All right. There's nothing more here to talk about. There are affiliates. That's why I put the link in the different locations that everybody can see it in the chat room. No matter where you're watching from, it's there. So there's no excuse that way. I gave you guys the brokerage for Robinhood, Webull, Moo, so you can't say anything about that. All right. So hopefully, like I said, high risk, high rewards is what this is. All right. Now let's go back to the U.S. stock markets, because here's what happened today. NASDAQ down, S&P down, Dow Jones down. United States came back, and they're claiming that they sent an offer to Iran. The offer looks awfully familiar to Obama's and the EU's Iran nuclear deal. Don't you think Iran agreed to it before? Yes. Let me ask you something. They are also part of the nuclear proliferation, where they have people that can come in to actually look about their nuclear arsenal, or they don't have nuclear, but check out their uranium, right? You know who's not a part of it? The people that attack them, Israel. They don't allow investigators to come in and check and see what they have, but they're running around attacking people. I must ask people as a person, if somebody attacks you and your family and they say, hey, lay down your weapons, or make sure you don't have a certain number of weapons, what would be the odds of you saying okay after you were attacked unprovoked? I'm just asking, because it makes zero sense for me if I'm a country seeing how people who have no nuclear weapons get attacked, i.e. Ukraine, i.e. Qatar, i.e. all these other countries that Israel attacks, Syria. Why on earth would you agree to this? There is no way I would agree to it. And they would say, well, we're going to decimate your country. I'm like, that's what you guys were doing anyhow. So we're going to have to defend ourselves. And I'll be damned if I'm not going to be able to have a nuclear weapon, because apparently that's the only way you guys won't attack me. Because you ain't over there messing with North Korea. You're not over there messing with your pet China. You're not over there messing with any country that has nukes. You're scared to even mess with Russia. But you will let Ukraine fall because they gave up their nukes under your guidance. You said, we'll protect you if you give up your nukes. That was a huge mistake by a country. So why on earth would, seeing what has happened, why would you agree to the old Iran nuclear deal? Knowing as soon as you do that you could get attacked 6 months from now, a year from now. Because before they were in the nuclear deal, and you still said you wanted to attack them, and you said it was not a good deal. Now all of a sudden, these mediocre weak asses using Obama's nuclear deal to go, oh, hey, look, why don't you come back? Come on, ladies and gentlemen, don't fall for this okey doke nonsense. I'm just trying to figure out what Iran's going to do. Because to me, I'm like, I can't trust you guys. We're in negotiations and you attacked us. I can't trust you guys. We were in the nuclear deal. We were abiding by it, and you still wanted to say we had the nuclear, and you attacked us last year in June. So I'm not believing anything you have to say. So this is gonna be very interesting strategy that has occurred. The only reason Iran might say, okay, all right, is because they'll say, okay, all right, just so it'll stop, just so they can say, you know what, guys, go ahead with the underground nuclear program. Okay, we got uranium. We're going to enrich some more of that stuff, and we're going to create one because we can't trust these dudes. But it's better than getting bombed and wasting our bombs right now. So let's get back to business at hand. That's the only way I would do it. There's no other way. So expecting these guys not to go forth trying to get a bomb is like, I don't know what somebody's going to be smoking out here. All right, let's get down to business. Stock indexes. Hold on. What's this right here? Was I off? I thought this was today. This says New York Stock Exchange was a plus. Okay, NASDAQ 100 was a negative. Investors' dreams. This is why you have to be versatile. You can't just be in one index. If you would have been on the NASDAQ 100, you would have been down 1.86. There would have been money to be made on the sell side. Dow Jones, money to be made on the sell side. S&P 500, money to be made potentially. It only went down negative 2.4, but this 184 from NASDAQ, there would have been opportunity again during the day. Now, check this out. The Russell 2000, some of the stocks, you could have, it's a plus 11, but this other one, this right here, plus 243, the transportation average, because of why? The cost of gas goes up. Transportation companies, people need them. They get to make more money, even though we lost over 30,000 transportation companies last year because of the tariffs. You can easily Google everything I'm saying. This is not rocket science. You know, if you're going to have tariffs and you don't have American citizens ordering enough products from outside of America, then that means there's no reason to be at the ports picking stuff up. And if you're not at the ports picking stuff up for transportation, that means my trucking company is in peril, because now we're not picking up from A or B or C or D because the flow is off. That means it's going to be reduced. And that is exactly what happened, just like we told you. So anyhow, let's get back to the business at hand. The transportation is a plus 243 going up. Look at this chart, ladies and gentlemen. Can you see this? Hold on, you guys can't see this. Let's get the chart up. Look at this chart out here. Oops, hold on. What's going down? I got to remove this. Look at this chart right here. Look at this. Let's go check this out. This is like a great day. Look at this. You can't do anything but smile, because some of you right now took advantage of this. Look at this. Let's see what we got. That's 1 year. Let's see what happened today. It's 1%, which is significant. 1.34% in 1 day is significant, right? Let's go. Where are we at? There we go. Look at this. This is where it was early in the morning at 9:30. Significant. And then it's 3:24 right now. Why is this? So that's not today. Hold on. Oh, it is today. Okay. I'm days off. That's what happens when you stay up overnight. Look at this. This drop right here was another opportunity on 323. Yesterday, opportunity going down. You could have been taking, look at this steep drop. Then all of a sudden today, hey, everything's going to be fine. We're going to have the nuclear Iran deal. Look at this upside all this time. Early in the day, early, 9:30 to 11:22, it topped out. Investors were very happy if you are trading on the transportation stocks. Look at this. Then it levels off. So now the party's over, but look at this. I'm not saying after that, but any time in the morning was an upside. They had their little jerks, but again, for 2 hours, well, I'll say 30 minutes, anybody from 9:30 to 9:50, you had a nice little run, taking advantage of all that. This is what we're talking about out here, ladies and gentlemen. That was an opportunity lost. Like I had the opportunity lost. I wasn't in it. Dow Jones hits 50. That was February 6th. Yeah. Okay. Good luck with that. They're just out here manipulating the markets. And you have to understand when this is the situation of war, you have opportunities every single day. Stock futures rise and report that U.S. has sent Iran a plan to end the war. Yeah, it's the Obama-Iran nuclear agreement that they already signed. I ask you again, if you were them, would you sign it? Just asking. I mean, let me know afterwards. Let me know. Let me hear from you guys. This is a global situation. There's a lot of people that do not believe that investing has to do with the global. This is a perfect example. It has to do with global in certain instances. So again, you're getting left behind. You're getting bamboozled. You're being misled if you think you're supposed to sit on the sidelines and have your 401k losing money. All right? That's not the way that you should think of it. A lot of people right now who have retired 20 years ago are sitting here in a problem because of the cost between when they retired 25 years ago, 20 years ago, and now is double. So if they bought a house like they were supposed to, their property and insurance and everything has doubled or tripled from when they retired. The groceries have doubled or tripled since they retired. Their car insurance doubled or tripled since they retired. But guess what did not double or triple was their retirement income. Just keep that in mind because that is our future. The lost generation is from 18 to 40 right now because you have to be 40 years old, a new high, to buy your first home. This is the all-time record, 40 years old to buy your first home. That is a travesty. You've already well into your career. So can you imagine all these people that's renting at $3,000 a month if they have a family because they need a place that has 2 bedrooms or 3 bedrooms in them? That is insane what is happening right now. And it's about to get worse because we are doing the same thing Bush 1 did. Trump 1, now Trump 2 did. You're doing the same inflationary ingredients. That is not 3% a year. They lie to you. Stop the lying, all right? You got to know where you live, ladies and gentlemen. No different than any other propaganda machine, all right? Now, I'm going to cut this off right now. This is crazy. Let me add this back because I want to see. Look at this. Because he gave the Iran nuclear deal, look at this. The futures went up 400 points for the Dow. Tonight, right now, if you were investing when they made that agreement, if you were in the markets paying attention, you could have, this has gone up. Look at this. Another 50 points on the S&P, 198 on the NASDAQ. This is going to go up to 1%. All of these are going to be 1% when the market's open. It's going to continue to rise until you got to pay attention. Iran says, I don't think so. This is almost like how America and the Native Americans, how it goes. If you go move west, young man, and you move on to my property, I attack you, but you started on the eastern seaboard attacking other Indian nations. So you attack and kill, right? Or try to put them in some sort of detention center, AKA reservation. So then once they get past the Mississippi going west, every other Indian nation would rather die because they know the repercussions if they don't. So now the resistance gets different because they don't believe what you're going to say. That's exactly what the descendants of EU do. They lie and then they act like you're the problem after they're trying to take your stuff and kill you. You will be a problem if they're trying to take your stuff and kill you too. And therefore they put up higher resistance. And of course they don't care now because they realize if they give up, they're going to die. You get, there's a thing. If you know you're going to die, then how are you supposed to agree to anything? Right? Same scenarios. So just keep that in mind when you're wandering around the world and going, why do people look at America in a bad light? Because what they've done to America, they've done to other countries. All right? Empathy may be a good thing if you got it in you. Because once you realize that you have no choice but to defend yourself because you were attacked, regardless of what you were raising up, going, ha ha, I hate you. Regardless of that, aha, I hate you does not mean anything until somebody says they shoot at you. Now, all of a sudden, aha, I hate you is going to mean a hell of a lot more. Aha, I hate you, and they got some hooded dudes rounding up my great-great-grandparents' house, trying to burn it down. Now, all of a sudden, we got a problem, right? You can say I hate you until you actually try to kill me. Once you try to kill me, I have to think you're an enemy at that point, regardless of this rah-rah, right? I hate you stuff. That stick works until somebody's trying to light up your house and kill you while you're sleeping. All of a sudden now, we can no longer believe that everything's going to be good. You have to act accordingly, just like any human being would act accordingly. And expecting somebody to lay down and go, no big deal, that right there is a huge problem in America because the weak, mediocre stuff that goes on, and people go, oh, they should have just laid down their arms because they were going to lose anyhow. Well, losing means death. Losing means you don't have your freedom. So you tell me losing our freedoms right now and people are gung-ho, oh, against the Constitution? No problem. Now you have this stuff where you can win. So you better win while you can, because with things in place, once you don't win, you're at the mercy of the government. They're out there talking about taking away your weapons. They're out there talking about you can't vote unless you do this. Your God-given right, your constitutional rights. They're trying to change the Constitution and go through the Supreme Court to make law changes, which the Supreme Court should not do, in order to block your votes based on a lie. Over 1 billion ballots by the Heritage Foundation, who actually did Project 2025, came back 0.0000726 of illegal ballots cast. And yes, there were some immigrants who did cast some ballots, but after 1 billion in the last 20 years, tracked by the Heritage Foundation, You know what 0.0000007642 something like that is? Less than 100, ladies and gentlemen. So this lie about all this stuff people are voting and all that is bullshit. And once again, you're being fooled and you're being robbed. Because once you're paying attention to that lie, now all of a sudden you're giving up other freedoms. Because they're saying, well, we're going to do this to offset that, but that reduces your freedoms. And it erodes the Constitution. And that is a problem because you guys don't want to be like these other countries, right? You don't want to be like Russia when Putin took care of their constitution and said, let me redo this. This isn't going to work. And now look at. Or do you want to be like Israel? Forget all that freedom of speech stuff. Hold up. No, we're not going to have that. Press? What press? No, sorry. Not going to have that. Cut your feeds. We don't want to show nothing. And if you don't cut your feeds, we're going to throw you in jail. You want to be like Israel now. Is that the deal? You want to be like Nazis too, and you want to be like Russia too. Is that your idea of a fun time, ladies and gentlemen? You have so much freedom right now, and you guys are out here willing to throw it away. Come on now. At least make some money if you're going to throw away your freedom, because sooner or later, your opportunity to even make money is going to start becoming slim trying to do stock market trading. And by the way, if you're going to do stock market trading, I'm going to wrap this up. The reason why I use CoinEx is because CoinEx is outside the United States. Okay? So, here you go. Let's go with CoinEx. And this is a broker outside the US. They use crypto. Allow you to use crypto to upload to your account. They give you a demo account. All right? So, please use CoinEx if you like to be outside the jurisdiction of the United States for tracking your funds. And that's why I like Bankus, because then you can take your profits and download it to your Bankus account. They do give you a digital card, but the actual card where you can go around and do something. And actually, the digital card can link to Apple and Google Play stores. If they haven't now, they will. So the physical card you may not even really need if that's the case, right? So anyhow, that's why I use CoinEx, because then if you trade on their broker account and then you use crypto to upload, and even if you use a regulated environment from the United States, okay, so what? They report that you uploaded money. The idea, though, is because Bankus is from Mexico City, it's downloaded to Mexico City outside the U.S. jurisdiction. This is why the rich and the wealthy have offshore bank accounts, offshore business bank accounts, offshore personal bank accounts, because any money they make outside the United States, U.S. doesn't even have no knowledge of. All right? This is why that's part of our three-prong attack. 775 credit score. Business outside of the United States or real estate, and bank account outside of the United States jurisdiction. I don't mean you're over in Puerto Rico and got a bank. That's not outside. That's a U.S. territory. I'm not talking about the the American Virgin Islands. That's not outside the U.S. banking account, outside the U.S. regulations. I'm not talking about American Samoa. Okay? No, we're talking about another country, ladies and gentlemen. All right? Let's get real. All right. So hopefully this will help you out. So use CoinEx, please. And again, if you refer other people, they do have a referral program as well. I love how these guys have referral programs. Bankus has one, Prime Wealth Advisors, CoinEx has one. I love it all. All right. I love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. So I'm going to give another link on other platforms so everybody has it. And again, I gave you the Bankus already. Don't miss the Bankus Tuesday. The guys just came back from Mexico City and they get all rah, right? Okay? That's where the Bankus headquarters is. That's where you get the rah. But don't worry. Let's see. I see we don't have that many people that's in the chat rooms, but no worries. So after you have CoinEx, I got to give you the Candlestick Trading Bible. Where can you get it? You can get it in this chat room. And if you watch on YouTube replays, you actually have to hit the first comment on your mobile phone and swipe left or right and get the question that comes up. If you want to see the live chat, that's the way you can get the links. You got to tap on that after you swipe left or right a couple times, and then tap on that little message going there. There was a live chat. Do you want it now? Anybody see the trailer? Let me know. Anybody see the trailer? Man, Candlestick Trading Bible. You can go to stopstrugglingnow.com. Okay? You really should learn how to make money without having a job. It's very hard. Don't let me get this twisted at all for you. This is very hard to learn how to stock trade. I know people that's done this for 10, 15 years. They still have this, what you would call, no mastery. All right? They still lose sometimes. And it's not just once out of 10. These guys pretty much lose 3, 4 times out of 10. 5 times out of 10. So you got to minimize your losses. You have to do money management. You have to be a big boy out here. All right. So you can go to stopstrugglingnow.com. Up at the top, there's a text link. You can download it there directly. Download it onto your device. Also, right here in the chat rooms, you guys can use that link and go over and download it. You should read it. It's 169 pages. If you're serious about this, it took me 5 months to get to page, what was I on? Can't remember. Maybe 102 or something. All right. Because when I was on CoinEx and I'm have my MetaTrader 4, MetaTrader 5, I just use MetaTrader 4. But the point is, I was reading, then I was looking on the charts to see what happens in the past and what's happening in real time, so I could recognize if those signals show up in real time, can I predict what happens? So then I can use my demo account, which uses fake money, and you could actually put in a trade to see if what your outcome is. Now, I will say real money and play money is different, but try to treat it as if it's your real money, because there's fear when people change from real money from play money. So just keep that in mind. But these are the tenets that you're going to need going forward, because the stock market's never going to go away. You should be able to take advantage for the rest of your life once you become very good at it, but you got to study. Okay? You have to mark up your charts that you're comfortable with. Some people take daily high, low, 4-hour high, low, 1-hour high, low. They narrow it down, go down to 5 minutes. Then they go to the 1 minute high, low, and they start narrowing things down, because there's a range that stocks usually stay in, and then there could be a bust out. So that's traditionally what happens. There's all kind of things that can happen based on words that come out of a president's mouth. And that's what's going to continue to happen every day this week. Right now, they said there's a deal on the table. Right now, the stocks they've risen as we talk. As I'm speaking right now, you can take advantage. And tomorrow, if Iran, or tonight, Iran says, oh no, there's no deal, then tomorrow's stock market will come crashing back down. All right, just so you know. There's talks. That'll help the stock market go up. All of these things matter. So make sure you put yourself in place. I'm going to end this right now. If you guys do anything, if you like what I'm talking about tonight, please subscribe to the channel. Make sure you smash the like button, give it a 1 piece. And also make sure you click the all notification bell, because apparently a lot of people, even though we do have over 15,000 subscribers, hardly any subscribers gets any notifications when we're live or when I drop a video. But hopefully you get it, and you can see down below Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So I'll be back live tomorrow at 5:50 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Don't miss it, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to find out what the stock market's going to do, and hopefully you're able to take advantage. Just keep that in mind, because you can make more money on the stock market if you trade yourself versus letting BlackRock or anybody, Vanguard Group or anybody else, take your money and they invest it. And then at the end of the year, they tell you, oh, it's 7%. It's 10%. You can make 10% of your money that you are trading in one day. That's what's so wild about this, right? It's like you can give them your money and they can trade your money at no risk. and they make millions because they get to charge you, regardless of what happened, 0.75%. And when you have assets under management of almost $1 trillion, that's 1%, even if it's half of a percent, they're making billions annually just for using your money to make you a little bit of money while they keep the bulk of it. Just keep that in mind. And they get to do offshoots. They get to use your money because it's assets under management for derivatives. They get to borrow against the money that they've accumulated from investors and say, hey, I want to get in on a shares of a company. I mean, they get huge advantages. They can go to the Federal Reserve and say, hey, can I get interest only loan for 15, 20 years of 3.5%? Because you did reduce the rate. And the Fed says yes. You're not going to get 3.5% for 15 years, are you? No. And if you were able to get a house for 3.5% interest only for your first 15 years, do you know what would happen? You would be wealthy. Because only 3.5%, not even having to pay down the principal, but your house goes up another 100, 200, 300, and you can renegotiate. You can actually take some of that money out and invest to make more money. That's what the rich guys get to do. That's what you need to do. And that's why I need you guys at 775 credit score by the end of this year, December 31st, 2026. How? I've already given it out in case you just joined us. You're going to use the email. You're going to hit up Tracy. That's the first thing, okay? She helps with debt reduction over 1 to 2 years. But you have to email her. Do not sleep on this, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm going to give you something else with credit, the smart credit system. This is a monitoring system. They have your credit scores. They have your FICO scores. They have your hiring index score. You can't let this slide either. You have to have the smart credit systems. Use our link. Why? Let's see what's going on here. Oh, there it is. Okay. Why? Because they have specials sometimes. Sometimes they do this like $5 a month for 6 months, $1 a month for 3 months, just so you can see what it is. You can always cancel, but don't sleep. Don't sit here and sleep on this, because what's going to happen? What will happen? I have it on several different platforms. All right. I see right now I'm going to have to change. Let me see if I have to change this. Yeah. I see on one platform it was too long of an explanation. So that's not good. So I'm going to do a different way on a different platform. I might show this might show up twice in the chat room because I'm just going to give you the link so you can just sign up today. All right. Go check it out. You got to get your debt reduced. This is mandatory. The price of everything's going up. I just found out that the gas bill that we had, because our year expired, they doubled the therms. More than doubled the therms, actually. It was 102% increase. So the bill doubled because it expired. Our 1-year contract expired and it doubled for 2 months. And I'm sitting there like, what the? Nobody's even home. What the frick is this? Yeah, crazy stuff. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I got everything I needed down. Hopefully it helps you out. Hopefully you guys join the trading party, and hopefully you'll join me tomorrow. So we're going to talk about what happened in the last 24 hours. So we'll see if there was a change where somebody came out either tonight or tomorrow and said, hey, we come to an agreement. You know what's going to happen with the stock market? It's going to rise. So just be prepared. I want you prepared. All right? Let's go. With all that said, I love you guys very much. I appreciate your support over all these years. But please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. And I know it's hard out here. It's going to get harder. So you better figure out a way that you get to make these extra streams of revenue. And if you're thinking about doing a business, you should use the aid of any of these AI programs, ChatGPT, any question and answer series, or you can talk into them, and they actually will produce pictures. They will produce a rundown on what you should do. I mean, it's incredible what I was watching. This gives everybody almost an equal playing field, but it does matter if you know what questions to ask. So you should have a little background because they give you some stuff. And so the same thing happened with what I was doing. They gave me some stuff, but then I said, hold on, because they started using words like traditional contracts are. I said, no, I don't want traditional. I know what you're saying, but I want people to have ownership after doing the hard work. So then they said, oh, you're going to be friendly towards these people that are actually to give them ownership. I said, of course. That's the whole point. I want to give them ownership where now they're restricted. So I'm like, they're like, they even said it. It comes back saying, oh, so you're going to be friendly. You're going to give them ownership. You don't have to. That's not the industry standards. I'm like, okay, I don't really care what the industry's doing. I'm about to kick their ass. That's what I'm out here trying to do because they're going to be pissed. They're going to be like, why is this guy doing this? He doesn't have to do that. There's a standard we have going on. Not my standard. My standard is no, you guys are sucking the blood out of people with BS. Game over for that. So now I'm going to get all these people. They're going to be, you know what team they're going to be on. And yes, I'm going to have the billionaires all upset. Yes, I know. Don't worry. We've went down this path several times in my lifetime. I just figured as I gotten a little older, I've gotten a little soft. And my mind was still trying to figure out the next disruption that I wanted to do. I finally found the next disruption I can get behind, and I love it. And by the way, it's been a 30-year in my head. 30 years in my head. I was sitting there like there was no way to do it because gatekeepers held a certain status. Now, because of the way social media is, the way their streaming services and all this other stuff, the gatekeepers aren't the gatekeepers anymore. Because I can actually do this without them, but I can't really do it like I want, so I'm going to need some help. I'm not going to tell you guys what it is, like I said, but I want to thank you guys so much for listening to that story, because you know Friday night is story night, but I'm still not going to tell anybody, period, until I get it done. I might not get it done. I'm just telling you what I'm going to do. But once again, thank you everybody for being here this evening, and you know it's hard out here. So therefore, protect yourself, protect your family, and try to figure out how to move forward, because just think of this in different terms. What if it's going to cost you 25% more by July 1st? What would you do? 25% more by December 31st. What are you going to do? 1/4 of what your expenses are right now is going to be on top of what you are paying now. What are you going to do when I know 8 out of 10 of you watching this are living paycheck to paycheck? 6 out of 10 watching this doesn't have $500 in their bank account. 7 out of 10 don't have $1,000 in their bank account. You know the numbers don't lie. So therefore you can't pretend out here. You can pretend there's credit cards, there's loans, you can pretend all you want. But the bottom line is everything you're holding is going to cost more to hold. Can you afford that? Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. And with all that said, no matter what happens, let me know if you guys have seen the trailer yet. This one was different. Let me know if you saw it. And with all that said, make sure no matter what you do out here, keep your head up. Keep moving.